Hey, how's it going? It's Longlegs, and those Polish wizards somehow did it. They somehow got the most unstable, demandingly lit game to run on a Nintendo console, and it even fits onto a single cartridge. But there's one thing I don't think will fit into Nintendo's cutesy, parental-controlled walled garden, and that's the raunchy.
There's no time to waste.
There's no time to dick around, I know. Violent.
Could always be worse.
It could. It really could. And steering wheel challenged. Oh, you got this. I'm gonna guide you out. That's it, buddy. Watch my car. NPCs of Cyberpunk. What's a parent to do when their child is entering a whorehouse and is given their first safe word? Well, you tell them they're now ready for the sexual predator nightmare that is Roblox. So join me today as we take one last tour of Night City to let any of you Nintendo fans see for yourself if you can handle the debauchery. And nope, Mario won't save you here. He's suffering from cyber psychosis because he got a ripper dock to install too many wrenches and a flammable cannon on his arm. So, my character looks like a 90s rave scene casualty, being literally sick at the sight of the purple hair dye. What, you want to stream on Twitch in the year 2020? Then Elon Musk creeps in to take a peek. Weird move, but he kinda runs things around this corpo joint. That reminds me, I've got to level up his character later before I clock out. This week he died fighting a tutorial boss and then ripped out the sink here. Heard that's a thing of it. Of course, in the corpo world, there is a chain of stress. After being perved on by Elon, we meet our corpo assistant at work, and I already don't like him. He's done nothing to me, bless him, but I think it's the haircut that made me just lose my cool.
I have those reports you asked for?
I didn't ask for them. What the fuck is going on with your hair? Close your mouth. Jesus, you've had a hard night, haven't you? We go to a bar to meet Jackie, who has managed to somehow avoid public toxic gamer ridicule for that man bun, probably because on release it didn't even render. But I feel now after 20 plus patches and no CD Projekt, you can't just put a damn decimal point in there to make it seem like less. You need to call out his hairstyle monstrosity. He just looks like he's gonna instantly try and sell you crypto and rant on about how AI will change the world, bro. Just hop on your e-scooter and get out my face, man. Anyway, to get through his rant about how Meta was just too ahead of its time, I get absolutely wasted at a bar. We're then treated to a montage of scenarios with Jackie that genuinely looks like a way more funner gameplay loop than the actual playable game. Honestly, if this game was just a drug dealer simulator in the future where you just have to keep upgrading your body as the drug dealers and addicts just get crazier and stronger, that'd be so fun. Then again, it's not like a drug dealer simulator game will be popular in this day and age. It wouldn't work anyway. The dealers here are far too sensitive. Let's go with an ounce of your finest skunk, boss.
I don't trust you, man. You're too aggressive.
I feel bad. Code Carnage's viewership must have plummeted in the future. The guy's been wearing a bin liner standing in front of his mattress. Should have got the purple Twitch mohawk I'm wearing, mate. Maybe I can get one of those do-rags for Jackie, hide that cyber bun of his. The celebrity train doesn't stop. Rick Ross shows us he doesn't care for my lung capacity. Blowing cigar smoke in someone's face is just poor manners, bad smell, no contact high, no fun. Graphic design slaps on these magazines. Good to see physical media still going in 2077. Speaking of slaps, Chris Rock also seems to be not doing too great. Homeless, shirtless, and down in the literal dumps. What happened that made all these once A-listers be chucked to the curb? Or at least the Flash has got some part-time work, although obviously in too much of a hurry to do up his buttons for work, no worries. Me and Jackie visit a pretty volatile gang that must love Amsterdam because they're loving red lights and drugs. Upon getting there, Jackie's body language immediately tells me he's gone on to their side now. Look at that body language, judging me with his new comrade called Dum Dum. Dum Dum wants me to do drugs with it, then passes me what I thought was going to be a bong, but instead turns out to be an inhaler. I take a hit and pretend like I'm out of my mind whilst I watch him relieve his asthma. I think the gang are just looking out for Dum Dum. He's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, and I just think I'd play along as well, so I thought it was a nice thing to do. He does reveal he owns a Boston Dynamics robot, and before I know it, in my inhaler-based hallucinations, I have what I thought for a second was Judge Dredd pointing a gun at me while we do a 1-2 switcheroo and steal the robot. And then we shoot Dum Dum so hard he does a 180 flip, offering me fake drugs.
That's the way to do biz, V.
After all that drama, me and Jackie decompress for a second outside, just as the sun is rising. You know, thinking as we talk he's gonna offer me a ride home on his bike after all we just went through. No, he just drives off. Cool. This happened to me before in GTA 4. We hide in a closet to watch a father and son dispute, as that's what we're into apparently, getting rewarded with a real raunchy scene where the son starts strangling daddy. Just come off of playing GTA 5 where Trevor was strangling everyone he could find. Starting to get into it at this point. After a pretty bullet heavy heist to steal the latest CPU it seems, we're in a Tesla where Jackie is looking like he's eating a lot of raspberries. That's how we're going to describe Blood now for the Nintendo fans. He's still barely conscious and decides now it's time to pull out the AMD CPU out of his head for me. I was livid it wasn't an X3D model, but he immediately bottlenecked in his head and died. I think the lesson here was Jackie was trying to tell us Capcom games won't run with a cheap CPU. We then enter the Matrix and suddenly we're Ted. Yes, I'm going to be nailing this Keanu Reeves references all throughout the video. About to perform a set on stage as Wild Stallion, before realizing the sound is all pre-recorded backstage. What a fraud. The set was a smash hit, but Adam Smasher wasn't a fan. After playing the Matrix crossover with Bill and Ted's Wild Stallion Simulator, we're back as V, and this wouldn't be a AAA RPG without, of course, the slow, frustrating, cruel section. And in this pile of trash is where we first meet my favourite guy in the game, the ultimate straight man, Goro Takemura. I just love this guy's straight, no-nonsense attitude paired with my insane, immature gamer mind. We get up to some fun later on. We get back home finally and a punk pharmaceuticals rep then barges into my flat and tries pushing her supplements on me. Vitamin D is not going to help solve my AMD CPU headache, love, sorry. Duke Kaboom then lets himself in as well, digitally though, but would still appreciate some knock as well because I was about to jack it in bed. No wires attached this time. We try to relax by having a romantic brunch with Takamura. So much for the relaxing chat I needed though, he immediately gets disgraced by CoffeeZilla on the TV. Sometimes I feel like Takamura just doesn't care, you know? Then a little later on, it's just me and Neo, and we get startled by an instant transmitted drug addict. Goku's obviously having hard times. A little later on then, we enter a robot whorehouse where they immediately tell me to jack in. I will jack into nothing, love. Safe to say I don't quite understand, thinking they wanted me to start pleasuring myself right there at the reception, like a McDonald's at 3 AM. They ask for a safe word, I give them mine immediately as I always have it on front of my mind.
Now for your safe word.
Oklahoma. Such is the lifestyle I leave. They wouldn't accept it and gave me a weirder option. Afterlife. Just imagine screaming it out whilst tied up in bondage. Afterlife! The lady of the night was not one for foreplay, however.
So, V, you're dying.
Absolute mood killer. Afterwards, Johnny Utah here basically tells me whilst my AMD CPU is overclocking big time that he wants to use me as a terrorist against Arasaka. I tell him about my pervy boss Elon and suggest perhaps we buy some spray paint and hit all those Teslas. John Wick then looks at me the same way he looked at his dog's killers. Fair. To start off this Arasaka rebellion, I sit down next to a prostitute and immediately ask her where's Fingers. Look, she's on the clock, you gotta get straight to the point, you know? We finally get let into Mr. Fingers' room. First impressions of him are his recreational activities we observe. The guy likes to hit that hookah pipe whilst munching on a jar of marshmallows and dry scooping that creatine and pre-workout. What I gathered from this is, the man's ready. Fingers gives me the vibe of a man who got kissed by a beautiful girl at a rave in his 20s and he's been chasing that high at raves for another 30 years, bless him. We pop into a daytime rave afterwards as I love coming down from pills in the middle of the day. Tell you what though, whatever this guy is on will probably calm the nerves. Look at those Merlot eyes. One thing I noticed about myself as I play Cyberpunk is my pretty rapid disconnection from humanity. Maybe it's a cyberkenosis. Maybe I played too much GTA 5 as Trevor Phillips. Either way, I walk past a busker. We have a moment. Hey, dude. As he gives me a little chew. It's all going well. Keep going, man. Don't mind me. Think I've made myself a buddy in this hostile world. That's a thing to cherish. Then it went sour for some reason. Really like that, dude. The eye contact you give me as well.
Could always be worse.
It could. It really could. Yeah. Could always be worse, huh? I don't know what came over me, if I'm honest, but it appears my patience in this game had the stability of the trees in the launch build of this game. I saw a bunch of billionaires like to take ice baths as it makes them more money, so we give it a try. We're a little skint. The cold must have made me wake up in the Matrix as now with John Constantine having a dispute with our band member. It all gets too much, so we pop some pills, watch a groupie pour red wine on her top. Brutal. That's white. Dry cleaning bill, here we come. She immediately regrets the decision, having a smoke outside. Then a couple of rowdy boys from the bar want to do shots with me. Don't blame them. Not today, boys. We need to hit the laundromat fast. They're not having it, so a bullet to the head sent the message that we don't want this red wine to stain. Unfortunately, that's when we get Wesley sniped from behind by Blade. Blade and Co kidnap White Top from us. Not cool, that Top is surely ruined now. We're so livid about this, we raid the Arasaka tower we find out she's been taken to. We assume she's there, and what do you know, people, they've removed the red wine stain. The corpo dress attire is so strict that even the captives need to be deep cleaned. Anyway, safe to say I'm now an ice bath guy now. Expect financial vice and wild hallucinations. Next, we're back with our favourite straight man to our sarcastic constant remarks is Takamura. We're meeting an old colleague of his to try and convince him that the old president of Nintendo was strangled by his son. Unfortunately, we haven't got a decent level in conversation skills and we rudely interrupt the flow here.
I do you a favor now. Sorry, but this is gonna take much longer. I do you a favor now by not cutting it off and taking it straight to Yorinobu-sama.
Takamura makes it clear he wants to go to the parade, bless him. Probably had a horrible childhood. We agreed to take him there. We get in the car. Now this is the start of what you'll see later in the video of Takamura's insanely bad driving. We never have the heart to tell him, but you'll soon see here. We get a brief glimpse of this hand-to-wheel coordination. V clearly a little worried already.
Beware, you mock me too often. You alright, Goro? Yes. Why the sudden concern?
First up in Takamura's childhood bucket list tour. We got to the Pachinko parlor. Now just look at the intent on his face and the confidence in his stride. The boy lives for the Pachinko.
How I miss the sound.
After losing a lot of money with Takamura the previous night, the next day hungover, guess who we bump into strumming the same damn song? It didn't go well again. Not so handy on the frets today. He's still playing. We then end up in the scarce desert area of the Badlands. I decide to sharpen my katana blade and skills on a local gang's porch. Shame Cyberpunk Woody got in the way. Hey cowboy hat, you got a friend in me. And it seems the vegan's one, presenting Power Pork. Well, we see where that Power Pork is going, bumping into ex-bodybuilding champion Jay Cutler, fighting Shaggy 2 Dope from Insane Clown Posse, my katana one. Next on the desert roster is Panam Airlines. You'd think she'd be Nintendo friendly, but she of course is doing the classic seductive position of fixing the car, handed down to her from ancient folklore such as Fast and Furious and ancient poet Michael Bay's Transformers. Parental controls on, but off but daddy. We need her for a mission and we managed to get a lift with her for helping out fixing her car by standing on a barely propped up bonnet with my insanely heavy half metal body. The ride was real awkward though, neither me or V could break the ice. Not up for the 9 to 5, huh? Seemed like a more free spirit.
Nice ride, lots of space, practical.
Say no more.
Panam introduces us to Mitch and Scorpion. I don't care if you name and dress yourself after your favourite Mortal Kombat character, mate. You're my boy Charles. I ain't forgetting that voice, son.
The big city got too small for her. Do you have any idea how angry the old man's gonna be when he sees you here?
Mitch doesn't want anything to do with me, playing it real cool. However, I noticed he secretly wanted me as an audience anyway when he was talking to his mates.
You know that.
Listen, we can't leave camp, no chance, but... Listen, we can't leave camp, no chance, but... Listen, we can't leave camp. Listen, we can't leave camp, no chance, but...
Me and Panam Airlines breathe in the cityscape of Night Sea just like that Anchorman scene until she decides to take out the airline competition. Just couldn't leave work alone for 5 minutes, could you? For those who like to attack Teslas in the 2020s, be grateful you're not in the 2070s, where the Teslas have sentient minds and fight back. We meet back up with Takamura to check out the parade. Guess his inner child still isn't satisfied. He seems all mysterious about it, like he's planning a cheeky gag, bless him.
Why? What are we doing here? You shall learn soon.
The cheeky gag he was pulling. The thing I love about Takamura, as I've said in this video, is his sublime straight man routine. Clearly here from the protruding unicorn shaft bit, he is pulling that this is a silly man. But look at that straight face. Absolute pro. I, of course, could not contain myself. New implant, have you?
There's no time to waste.
There's no time to dick around, I know.
Virus in my core. Damn it.
Let's get onto this like a couple of fighting cocks, huh?
Please.
Remember we had a slight scare earlier on Takamura's driving skills? Well, now we get to see them in broad daylight, and it wasn't pretty. His straight face continuing to make the whole thing that much more hilarious. Comedy gold, Takamura. What the fuck? Nice driving, Takamura. Oh yeah, you've really got that 3-point turn down. Reverse, yes, left hand down. Left hand down. That was right hand. That was right hand down. Come on, you got this. I'm going to guide you out. That's it, buddy. Watch my car. Watch my car. Oh, he stops at the fucking lights, does he? Takamura wasn't there to watch the parade. No, he kidnapped Arasaka's daughter. Of course, he didn't think that perhaps this would attract the whole militia of Night City on us. No problem. Suddenly there's bullets, flashbangs, and a very flimsy floor. We come to, and Johnny is urging us to save ourselves. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Keanu, but there is no way we're leaving our boy Takamura to rot with these clearly rotting floor planks. We push through, constantly going against Shadow the Hedgehog's advice, determined to find the world's best undiscovered straight man in comedy. And then I clear a whole mag and a room, and what do I get for my trouble?
You will die here with me.
Classic Takamura positivity, love it. But after we get out, my legs give way as a building fell on them earlier, and we just abandoned me, the traitor. I was devastated. Safe to say this betrayal friendship got to me. I went on a bender, clearly to numb the pain. To push the blade further, the next time we see him, he's back at his old company. Company car back in the garage, but friendship lost, mate. He must have ran straight from my limp body to his boss, the sheep. The lift ride was awkward, but it was nice having him by my side one last time as we take down RoboCop. But in the end, can I be mad? Right at the end, the man maintains his iconic straight-faced dark sense of humor.
You will be dead. You must accept the truth.
You always know how to cheer me up, Takamura. Thanks for watching, team, and I hope any Nintendo fans got a glimpse of what's in store for your Cyberpunk playthrough. I hope you have as much fun as I did. And those of you who've been playing this game for years, tell me in the comments what your experiences were. What celebrities did you meet? What celebrities did you kill? And what deadpan jokes has Takamura just slapped you in the face with? Remember to pay off your Ripper, Doc. I'm Longlegs. Stay classy, internet.